All right, so let's have an honest conversation about racism in Italy. I was tagged in a video, which I'm always tagged in these videos. I was tagged in a video by several people on Instagram, and so I figured I'll respond on here, and then I'll maybe respond on my IG as well. But I was tagged in this video, and it made me like want to do like some like some think tank, like us just sit here and just talk honestly about racism in Italy. Like I feel like I can talk to y'all. I've been here long enough. I feel I can have these conversations with you all and be really honest. So, is there racism in Italy? Yes. Are there systematic things put into place that are racist? Yes. Will you as a tourist deal with the systematic stuff? Most likely not. You most likely will not deal with the systematic things that are put into place that Afro-Italians deal with on a regular basis when it comes to actually living, working, having to find housing, all of this stuff in Italy. It's completely different, right? Will you deal with some form of racism? What just flew my window? Will you deal with some form of racism? Yes. Most likely it might be passive aggression, it might be microaggression, it might be flat out, whatever. Is there a chance? Yes, there's a chance. There you go, right? Is every white person in Italy Italian? Think about that. Is every white person in Italy Italian? They're not. Not every white person in Italy is Italian. Italy gets about 68 million tourists a year. At least that was in 2019, right? That was the census said. 2019, there was 68 million tourists that came to Italy. I can tell you right now that most of those people who came here were not people of color. They were not Black people. So if you have a large portion of people that are coming to a country as a tourist, and you already have a predominantly white society here in Italy, will you deal with a racist? Probably. Will you deal with a racist that is Italian? Chances are much lower. For one, tourists don't tend to go to local places. The video that I was tagged in was of Black women. I guess it was a couple of them because I heard some giggling off camera. And there were some white people who were in the back, like it was like to the side of them. And they said that the people had repositioned themselves to stare at them, the Black women, right? As she panned the camera to show the people, the guy flipped the bird at the camera, right? While she was panning, she showed a neon light, which was a Guinness sign, which is so not a local thing it's a thing that's not in local restaurants, like places where locals go. It's more or less a place that's aimed towards tourists. So when I look at this place, I don't know if it was an Irish pub. I don't know what region it was in, city, none of this. What I know is there were some Black Americans, I'm assuming they're American, their accent sounded Americans, inside what looked like an Irish pub with white people behind her having a racist experience. Not having a racist experience with an Italian, my assumption, having a racist experience with a white person in Italy. You guys follow me here? And I'm not discounting her experience. I'm saying that she had a racist experience. I'm saying as I look at the situation around her, it's not giving these people were Italian. Even some of like their behavioral stuff, I'm like, that's not really a big Italian. Like Italians will stare. You typically won't have an Italian that will move their seating around the way that they did to stare. Italians are much more, I don't know the word about it, but non-confrontational, I guess that would be what it is when it comes to stuff like that, like Italians. I'm not talking about Italians from Jersey, I'm talking about Italians. Also, places like that are not typically places that like, there's a pub that we go here in Florence, and it's just like, it's like a place that has like beer on tap, blah, blah, blah. The thing that's not advertised, the thing that isn't advertised is Guinness. Like that big neon sign with like the clovers is not a thing that draws in local Italians. It's a thing that's designed to draw in tourists. So this is just like when I look at videos like this, it is frustrating, guys, because I always see them reposted on sites that do not care about Black women travelers. They don't. They always, they're always like sites that are trying to fearmonger and that are trying to stop Black women from traveling, stopping people of color from going about and finding their, you know, their Romeo, living la dolce vita, like all of this stuff. You know, like there's that stereotype that says like Italian men love Black women. And I always look at these sites and I'm like, why are they trying? They're just, whoever is in charge of this site, it could be male or female, they're trying to stop Black women from enjoying their life the way that they could. Racism is going to exist everywhere, guys. It's going to exist everywhere. There is no way around it. There's none. And if it's not racism, it's colorism, it's featureism, it's texturism. All of that stuff is going to exist. And when I come online and I talk about my experiences in Italy, and when I try to give advice to students, when I try to when I share my experiences, and what I'm trying to get out of the students or try to make them realize when I'm having conversations is that we are all in this together. Some of us understand things differently and experience things differently. But what we need to do is support each other. When I'm talking about like, when I'm a Black woman who's here talking to university students and that's talking to people here on the internet about my experiences and how they can take my experiences and my mistakes and learn from them, especially the students. Students are here for like 3 to 9 months or something like that. I don't want them to be in Italy and for the entire time have this chip on their shoulder because of something that happened that was either never going to happen again, or if it's never going to happen again, they misunderstood it, or it was something that actually happened that they need to express their feelings and get that off of their chest so that they can process that and grow from it and not allow it to hold them back from the greatness that they're destined to be. So like when I see videos like this, I'll be honest, guys, it's so frustrating, especially for a person who, once again, majority of people who are visiting Italy for tourism are not Black people. And it's even a smaller amount of people who come here of color that are doing study abroad programs. So I don't target my stuff towards, you know, Black people, you know, or women or men or this. I bring myself as a minority and I'm relatable in a lot of different ways. And so when I'm talking to students is I'm just like how you are in some shape or form. I understand how it is to get judged as an American, as a Black person, as a Black woman, as a woman, as a this, as a that. I try to bring like that, the equalizer. And when I'm talking to students in the classroom, I'm like, this is what we need. We need support. So when I'm sitting here talking online, I'm talking in a way of saying, I'm here to support you. And I'm here to tell you this will happen. And this is how this is how we're going to get through it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't live in Italy. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't visit Italy. It's so much fear mongering that ends up happening. And I look at it as a way of deterring I can't just say women, but deterring people from traveling and to not expand your mind. And there's so much out here. I did a study abroad program in Brazil and it expanded my mind so much. And it pushed me to be a flight attendant. It pushed me to travel the world. It pushed me to say, you know what, I'm not familiar with this culture, but I'm going to learn. I'm not like, it pushed me to create my group Fiori d'Italia. It gave me the foundation, the soil, so many things to do so many things great. So that's all I wanted to say because I seen the video online and it's just like exhausting. Especially not exhausting from talking about race, is exhausting because people try to use race to stop people, if that makes any sense. It's not like they're saying Italy's unsafe. You've had a racist experience, you were uncomfortable. That's what I look at it as. You know, I don't know. I don't know if anybody can chime in. I don't know if I'll get chewed out. I don't know. I don't know. But it's so frustrating. Get out and travel, guys. Don't let someone stop you.
They have repositioned themselves These people right here.